Today I'm going to show you how to make an advanced ban command which will log the moderator's bans and unbans to a Discord channel. So to get started, let's firstly go over to our schemas folder and into guild config. In here to our interface we want to add logs as an object. Then in here we want moderation as an object. Then enabled as a bool. Then channel ID as a string. Next we want to go down to our model and let's just implement this interface. So we need to do logs as an object, moderation as an object, then in here we want to do enabled as a bool, comma, channel ID as a string. I'll do that as a comma, not semicolon. So now let's go create our logs command, which will enable the server owner or an admin in the server to be able to change this log channel. So if you go to commands, create a new folder called moderate, or administration actually, or administrator. I'll just name mine that. Then in here, let's create a file called logs.ts, another file called logs.set.ts, then logs.toggle.ts. Now in the logs.ts file, we just want to create a command, so export default class logs extends command, and just import that. Now we want to do a constructor which takes in client as custom client like everything else. Let's just, oh, that's already imported. And then in the super, we want to do client, then pass in our options. So let me just get rid of that. So in here, let's do name as logs, description, configure the logs for your server. Next, let's do category, and let's import the category enum and category.admin. Actually, we need to create that first. So go to enum's category, in here just type in administrator equals administrator. There we go. Now if we go back to our logs.ts file and just complete this. Next, let's do our default permission. So permission flag bits. Oh, this one we don't have to do .flags. We can just use .administrator. DM underscore permission false. Dev as false. Cooldown as free. Then in the options, we want to do two subcommands. So the first one we want named toggle. And for the description, we want to do toggle the logs for your server or put guild, whatever you want. And next, we want the type as application command type as subcommand. If auto. Oh, sorry, option type, not type. So if we just import that, then do .subcommand. There we go. Next, we want to pass in options to this. In the options, what we want to do is just name log dash type. This is where we'll be specifying the type of logs we can set. For the description, we want to do type of log to set, or whatever you want. Oh no, this is type of logs to toggle. Then type, then application command option dot string. Let me just do that. Then required is true because we always want the users to specify this. Next, we want to do choices. And in here, do name. Then let's just do moderation logs. And as the value, we just want it as moderation, or whatever you have called it in your schema, so whatever it's named here. Next, we want to add another option into this subcommand as toggled, or toggle. So this is where we'll be able to enable and disable it. The description. Let's just do toggle log. The type is this application command option type dot bool. Then required as true. Now for the next subcommand, let's just copy and paste this to make it slightly easier for us. So we want this one called set, and let's do set the log channel for your server. Then we also want this as a subcommand. The log type, we want to keep that exactly the same. Set. Let's change that to set. Then let's replace this toggle option with channel. Description can be channel to set the log to. Then we want the type as channel. Then required as true still. But in this one we want to add another option to here called channel types. This will allow us to limit the channel types to only be a guild. So just do channel.type. Well, we need to import that. And guild text, because we only want text channels to be set as our login channel. Now let's go to our logs.set, and in here let's create a subcommand. Export default class logs set extend subcommand. And do the constructor passing client custom client. And in the super passing client. And for the options, we just want to do name, then we want to do logs.set to show that it is a subcommand. Now for the method, we want to do async execute, then in here pass in interaction as command import application, or no, command import command interaction. And in here, what we're going to do is get the log type. The options get string, then we're going to do log dash type, and const channel equals interaction dot options dot get channel channel, then as text channel. And let me just fix my spelling mistakes there. If you're wondering why this is a text channel, it's because in the actual command we're requiring it to be a text channel, and it's required to be true, so it can't be nullable. So next what we want to do is just defer the reply to the interaction, just in case the database query takes long. We're going to do epithermal true. Next we want to just wrap this in a try catch, because this is where we'll be querying the database. To do catch error. Let's just do console.error error. Next, we just want to return interaction.edit reply, not reply, because we've already replied to it by deferring it, so now we need to edit it. So then in here, let's do embeds, new embed builder, and let's set the color to red. And set the description. Did I not close the bracket? Oh, I need to import embed builder. Change red to lowercase. Let's try to do this description again. So set description and do Windows dot to get the emojis. Let's do the red cross. Oh, I deleted the speech marks. There was an error while updating the database. Please try again. There we go. Now for actually inside of the try catch, first of all, what we want to do is try get the guild from the database. So do let guild equals await guild config. Then import that first. So find one, and in our brackets we want to just do guild ID, interaction with guild ID. And we want to just check if it exists or not. If it doesn't, we just want to create it. So guild equals await guild config, then dot create, and just pass in the guild ID. Next, we want to update the logs for the guild. So we want to just do guild.logs. And for now, let's just do .moderation. Then this is the set command, so we want the channel ID equals channel.id. After that, we want to do await guild.save. Then let's reply or return interaction.edit reply. Embeds, open your brackets, new embed builder. Now let's set the color to green. Set description. Then we want to do the ticks because we want to use variables. So let's do the green tick. Let's say updated, then backslash tick again, backslash tick. Then inside of here, let's do a variable. So let's say log type logs to send to, and let's just tag the channel. And there we go. So one last thing before we go on to the next part, we want to just change, or to make this dynamic, rather than having to do a switch statement based on the log type to determine what log we need to update. What we can do is just a cheap way to do this. So if we just get moderation, get rid of moderation and the dot, open the brackets and do your ticks, then put a variable in here called log type. Now IntelliSense and Typescript won't like this at all, so we just want to TS ignore this. But it does mean we don't have to have a switch statement in our code. So TS ignore, no I can't spell. There we go, that area now disappears. Now for the toggle subcommand, it's basically the same as this one, so if I just copy everything from this file and paste it in the other one, let's change the class name to logs toggle, change the subcommand name to toggle, and then instead of get channel we want to get full, and then we want to do toggle. There we go, and change this to enabled. So we still want to defer the reply, find the guild, create it if it doesn't exist, and here instead of channel ID we want to just do enabled. We also want to do equals enabled. Then for this embed, what we want to do is just get rid of this. Let's do a inline if statement here. So if it's enabled, we want to say enabled else disabled. Then we want to just do the log type, just like my Copilot's telling me to do, but I'll type it out anyway. So log type logs, then let me get rid of that extra bracket. There we go, and we still got our error handling down here, so that's all good to go. So to test these commands out, let's just start the bot, so npm run start. Then we should have an extra command registered. So yeah, we've got two global commands, which is test and logs, and two developer commands, which is dev only and emit. So now if we go over to Discord, if I go to my test server, so if I do /logs set moderation logs channel, it should respond with, yeah, updated moderation logs to send to #general. So now if we go to our database again, I'll just click on bot, then go back to your collections. Now we should have got a moderation logs channel ID, so that's working fine. So now if we do logs toggle moderation logs true, this should enable it. There we go, enabled moderation logs. So if we just refresh this, And go back to logs, moderation. There we go. So we got our channel ID set and enabled as true. So now if we go back to Visual Studio, we can start working on the ban command. So for the ban command, we want to create a new folder called moderation. Then while we're here, let's just go to our category enum. Let's add a moderation category. There we go. Now in our moderation folder, let's create 3 new files called ban.ts. Oh, that's new folder. So new file ban.add.ts. Then one more called ban.remove.ts. So let's just go to our ban.ts and start creating a command. Now we've done this a million times, so I'm just going to quickly speed through this. So export default class ban extends command. Oh, do a lowercase e on the extends, and then import that. Constructor client custom client, if I can spell. Do your super client. And now in here for the options, what we're going to just do is, so we want name as ban, description as ban a user from the guild, and as for the category, we just want category.moderation. Just import that. Oh, don't put a hashtag like me. So default member permissions, we just want that as permission flags bits ban members. Just import that as well. Then DM permission is false. Cooldown is free. Dev is false. So the last option is just options. Now in here we want to create 2 subcommands. So first one you want to create is called add, so we can actually ban a user. So description. Oh, I cannot spell today. Ban a user from the guild. Even though that's exactly the same as this one, let's just change this. Ban a user from a guild, or remove a ban. There we go. Now for the type, we just want to do application command option type dot subcommand, and as the options, so do name as target, description, select a user to ban, then as the type we want this as user, but later on we can get it as a member, then required is true. For the next option, let's just do reason, so I'll just copy and paste this to speed up a bit. For this ban, then we want to set this type as a string, required is false. Next is just speed up again, I will just copy and paste this. So the next one we want days, and description for this will be delete the user's recent messages. Then we want this as a string, required is false again, but this time we're going to do choices to give it an array with an object inside. So let's do name none with the value as 0. Then we want to do 0 as a string. Let's just copy and paste this 2 more times. Let's do previous 1 day, 1, previous 7 days. I'll just make that a capital D. And 7 as the value, or 7D, sorry, and 1D. And for the next subcommand, I'll just copy and paste this again, just to make it easier. And we want to do a silent or silent option. And don't send a message to the channel. Then we want this as a bool. To quickly explain what all these do, target's the user you're banning, reason is why you're banning them, but you don't have to put it. Days is how you want to delete the user's messages, so delete none of them, previous 7 days, 1 day. And then silent is, well, by default, the bot will send a message to the channel where the user got banned in. So if you specify silent, it just won't send a message. Now for the remove subcommand, let's just copy the add subcommand to make our lives easier. And change the name to remove. And let's say remove a ban from a user. There we go. We want to keep the target, but instead of being a user this time, we want to do it as a string. Let's change the description. Enter the user's ID to unban. Reason, we can keep that. Days, get rid of that. Then we can also keep the silent option. Now for actually making the add subcommand. So if we just go to ban.add, let's do export default class ban add extend subcommand and do our constructor client custom client. And in the super, pass in client, and in the options we want name ban.add. Now for the execute method, we just want to make this asynchronous, execute interaction as chat input command interaction. So first of all, we want to get all of our parameters from the all of the options, sorry. So interaction.options, get member, not user, because we want to get the member object, not the user object, because we are inside of the guild as guild member. Next, we want to do const reason interaction.options.get string reason, then or no reason was provided. This is so if this is null, it will just say no reason was provided. Of course, you can change that to whatever you want. Now for days, interaction.options.get string, then we want days or 0. And let's do the same for silent, but we need to do get bool or false. If it's not put in the options, we want it as false. Now to make this ban command foolproof, we want to do a lot of checks. So let's just do const error embed equals new embed builder. Then just set the color to red. Now I'm doing this just because we will have to specify it a lot of times. So it just makes it that bit easier just doing it this way. So first of all, we want to check if the target doesn't exist for whatever reason. Maybe if it's not fetched properly. So return interaction.reply. Then in here, what we want to do is just do, embeds. Oh, spell that right, unlike me. So embeds. And next we can just do it like a normal subcommand. I don't know what my format has done there, but let's do set description and do an X. Then let's just say user is not in the guild. And then let me just fix the format and then pass in epithermal. Now I'll just copy and paste this just to make my life a bit easier, to be honest. Then fix the formatting. So for the next check, what we want to just do, if the target ID is equal to the interaction.user.id, because you don't want to be able to ban yourself. So you cannot ban yourself. Let's do exclamation marks as well. In the next check, what we want to do is just simply check if the target roles is higher than the current user roles, even if they're admin. So position, then it's greater than or equal to interaction.member to get the member who did the interaction. So in this case, it would be me. Then we want to do question mark dot roles as guild role manager. There we go. Then we want to just put that in brackets. Then we want to do dot highest dot position and the brackets for the if statement. Then here, let's just say you cannot ban a user with higher or equal roles. Next, I'll just copy and paste this, but next we want to check if the user is actually bannable. So if we just do, or get rid of this, let's do not target bannable. There we go. Oh, I forgot one of the ends. Now let's just say this user cannot be banned. Then in the next check, or that's it for the target user checks, but in the next checks, let's just check if the reason is over 512 characters. So in that case, the reason's too long, because we're putting this as an embed, so there is a limit. The reason cannot be longer than 112 characters. So that is it for our check. So next, let's actually try send the target a message. So let's do question mark send, just so we don't get the null error. Oh, that's not a question mark. And in here, let's send them an embed. A new embed builder. Well, let's set the color to red. Set description. Let's do this on a new line. Then let's actually put a ban hammer here. So do Windows dot and find the hammer. It's just called hammer if you don't have it on your recently used. So let's say you were. Then let's make this bold. Banned from interaction guild name by. Then let's just tag the user who banned them. And on the next line, if you would like to appeal, DM the moderator. Oh, I cannot spell. Who banned you? And let's set the image as their profile picture as well. So set image, or set the image as the guild icon. So .guild, then we will need to do question mark icon URL. And let's just pass in empty parameters. Then we'll have to do exclamation mark to get rid of that null error. And then on the end of this, we just want to do .catch and leave it like that. The reason why we want to do a .catch is if the user has the DMs disabled, we can't obviously send a DM to them, so we just want to leave it. So next, let's reply to the moderator who did the ban. So interaction.reply. Let's create a new embed. Let's set the color to red. Set the description. Let's do the hammer again. And let's just say banned target. And let's give them the ID of the user as well, because later on they're not going to be able to ping the user. So we will need the ID to unban them if you want to. Let's just make this ephemeral. Now here, what we want to do is check if that silent option is set to false. Let's see what this error is. Cannot find silent. Yep, that's because I spelled it wrong. So if the silent's not selected, let's just do interaction.reply. Oh no, interaction.channel. And do question mark dot send. Let's do embeds. New embed builder. Set the color to red again. And in the description, let's do the, well, let's actually, before we do the description, let's actually set the title of this to be name, oh, I forgot the brackets. So name, let's do ban hammer, ban just to tell them, everyone what's happening. Then let's see what's that wrong. And actually this needs to be set author. And let's just set the thumbnail as well while we're here to the target dot user dot display avatar URL. And there we go. And then we also should pass in the size to this, just so it's not absolutely massive. So let's just say 64 for now, and we can change it later. I forgot one thing as well. Let's just change this to ticks. And now let's do, or let's just say what user got banned. So target.user .tag, just so we get their name. Then in the description, let's put the reason here. And then let's just specify the reason. And then we want to just check if days is equal to 0. If days is equal to 0, we don't want a message there, to be honest. And then if it is, let's do the ticks. And let's just say this user's messages in the last, let's specify how many days using that days variable have been deleted. And we also need to change this from 0 to be 0 in a string. To finish off the message to the interaction channel, let's just do, after this has been sent, so .then, let's do a lambda with an async function, pass in message, do your arrows, and let's just say await message.react, and let's put the hammer emoji there. Then people can react to it, I guess. So the final thing for this ban add subcommand is just logging it into that guild logs channel that we set using the logs command. So what we're going to do is firstly try find the guild from the database. So guild config. And we want to just do .find one. And let's try find the interaction guild ID. Now we just want to write an if statement. So if guild, then guild dot logs dot question mark. So question mark dot moderation. Then we want to do question mark dot enabled. Then we want to do and like the same thing. So guild dot logs question mark moderation dot channel ID. Then what we want to do is await interaction guild dot channels. And we want to try fetch this channel, so guild.logs.moderation.channel ID. Then after we have fetched that, we want to just do a question mark, just in case this is null, then send. Oh, it looks like it does not exist, so we just want to cast this as a text channel. So now if we do .send, it should exist. There we go. And then let's just do embed new embed builder, then in here, set the color to red again. Let's copy the thumbnail, so we want that exactly the same. Do set author as name. Then let's just do the hammer and ban this time. We want to specify the user in the description. And then set description. Do the new lines again. So firstly, what we want to do is do user. Let's just at the target, and then do dash, and then provide the target ID for when we can't no longer click on the user in the server. Then we just want to copy this up here. So we just want to log the exact same thing. There we go. Let's also set the timestamp for this so we always know when it happened. And finally, let's set the footer so we know which moderator did this. So in here, what we want to do is text, not name. That's my fault. And then in here, what we want to do is actioned by interaction.user.tag. Then for the icon, let's just put their name. And before we do that, actually, let's also put the moderator's ID, just in case they ever leave. And then we just want to do interaction.user.display avatar URL. And we don't need to specify anything there. And there we go. So for the ban remove command, what we can do is just copy the ban add command and just paste it in here. And now let's just change everything to be remove instead of add. And then for the options, we're going to get rid of the date option, but we still have a target, reason, and silent. As you can see here, target, reason, silent. And I've just noticed I've spelled target wrong compared to what we have in the options. So we should actually change that. So just get rid of that R. Let's change it in the add as well. Now if we go back to the ban remove command. So for the checks for this command, we can just get rid of all of these except the reason length one. And then under this, we want to do try and await interaction.guild.bans.fetch. Then we do target to get the ID. Then let's do catch error. And even though we're not going to use the error, just have it there just in case you need to log it in the future. And then return interaction.reply. Create an embed. A new embed builder. And let's set the color to. Actually, no, we don't need to set the color, sorry, because we want to use the error embed. So let's just do that there. So error embed and set description. Let's just say this user's not banned. Yeah, there we go. Now the reason why this is in a try catch rather than how we've done it previously is because if you try to fetch a user or a banned user from the guild and they're not banned, it will just throw an error. So this is an easy way to check if the user's actually banned. So next, we can get rid of the .send because we can't send it to the user. Now in the interaction reply, let's just do unban, then target. Then we can get rid of target ID because we don't have an ID. Or we do have the ID, we just don't have the object to get the ID off because target is the ID. Then for silent, actually let's just change this to green first, make it look nice. And then let's change this one to green. Then we want to do here unban. And then we want to just put target for the user's ID. We can't set the thumbnail because we don't have the user object. And then just say the reason. We can get rid of the delete messages because we're unbanning the user. And then you can keep this reaction, but I'm going to just get rid of it. So for the member login, let's just get rid of the days again. And for the user, we can just, or for the target, we can just put target. And then change this to unban. Set the color to green. Action by the user, or the interaction user. And that should be it. So if I now start the bot, there we go, we've got 3 global commands. So that's our test command, ban command, and logs command. So now if we go to Discord, if I try this ban command, so let's ban my test account, let's put a reason, goodbye. Then let's put days, previous 7 days. This account doesn't have any messages, so I can't really test that. And silent, even though we don't have to put it to false, I'll just set it to false anyway. So if I now ban that, so there we go. So the bots replied to the interaction with banned, added them, and then has put the user ID. It sent a message to the channel that the user was banned in. And then if you set this to silent, it would not show. And then this one is the moderation logs message. That's because we set the general channel to that. So if we change it, it will send to that channel instead. Now for the unban command, if we just do ban remove, let's put the target. I won't set a reason this time. And looks like we've got an error. Target is type of 3, expected 6 or 9. So if we go back to the options, and let's see what we've done wrong here. So this all looks right, but if we go back to the ban sub command, yeah, we're still getting the member. So if we just do get string instead, and get rid of as guild member, because we just want it as a string. And then it can be null there, but we know it's not null because we have made it required. So if we just save that file and start it again, looks like we've got another error because we can't set the thumbnail. So let's just get rid of that and restart it. So there we go, we've got the 3 commands again. So if I go back to Discord, let me just copy the ID again. Let's do /ban. Oh, that's the Discord version. So ban remove target. This user is not banned. So 2 errors I can see here is the account actually didn't get banned from the server, and this isn't epithermal. So if I just go to the ban remove, let's just quickly make that epithermal, and then do the same thing in the ban add, wherever that is. Oh wait, sorry, it's not in that one actually. But the second thing is the bot or the account was never banned from the server. So let's just go through this file quickly. So we do all the checks, send the message, reply, send it to the channel and add the log. One issue here is that I actually never ban the user. So it would help if we actually do that. So to do that, let's just do it under the target.send. We want to send the message before banning them, otherwise we can't send the message. So we want to do await target.ban. And then in the options, delete message seconds. Then we want ms with days. Reason being the reason. Now you will need to install ms most likely, unless you've done something by yourself and then needed to install it. But all we need to do for this is just npm I ms, and then we want to do npm I at types/ms. Now we can just import ms now, add import. Now in the catch, what we can do, well, we don't need the error because we're just going to reply to the interaction. So return interaction dot reply and embed new embed builder. actually for this we can just use the error embedded instead, because we want the color red still. But let's just set the description as there was an error while banning this user. There we go. Let's just put please try again. So this should actually ban the user this time. Let's just check if I actually made it remove the ban as well. So we're fetching it, but looks like I actually didn't make it remove the ban itself. So if we just copy and paste this try catch, put under, then we want to do bans.remove instead of fetch. And then in here we can do an error occurred while trying to remove the ban for this user. Please try again. So there we go. If we just save both of them files and restart the bot. Now if we go back to Discord and let's try ban them this time. So ban out. There we go. So it's replied here, sent the message to the channel and sent it to the logs channel. Now to address whatever this error is down here, so we cannot send messages to this user. That is probably because we're not awaiting this, so it's banning the user before it's actually fully sent the message. So if we just await the message instead, so if I just restart the bot, so let's just quickly test the unban command, then we can retest the ban command to make sure that works properly. So if I ban remove, put the ID there we go. So we unbanned that ID, sent the message in the public channel, and it's added the log. So now I'll quickly just go invite the bot back. So I've invited the bot back now. So if we try to ban it again, ban target, let's put a reason this time. Test, just do silent true, and there we go. If we ban it again, so there we go. It's replied to our interaction, it's sent the log, but it hasn't sent the message to the interaction channel. And then if I just go back to my test account, we can see that the server's no longer there. And if we go to DMs, say you were banned from Swipe the Mic server. If you'd like to repeal, DM the moderator who banned you. Now, that's it for this tutorial. And in the next one, we'll be going over how to do a kick command and a timeout command. Thanks for watching.